When I made my audio commentary for the first wave toys from Kaizoku Sentai Gokaiger, that was less of me saying I'm going to be doing this every 5 months when another wave comes out and I'm going to be doing it over and over and over. That original audio commentary was more me expressing what I felt about the direction that the series might be going. It was just, here's my initial opinions on the toy line, and it'll be interesting to see what happens next. And my intent had always been to leave it open. If the video proved popular enough, which, wow, it's by far my most popular video, well over 32,000 hits, then yes, I would have come in and made a second audio commentary on the second wave figures and toys from Gokaiger. Well, in early May 2011, we got the first glimpses of the second wave Gokaiger toys, and I saw them, and I was like, okay, there's some things that are interesting here, some things that are not as interesting. That's all well and good. But a lot of people, not just the 32,000 who watched the first video, but a lot of people, particularly Collection DX, and even on my own channel, have been asking, Ava, are you going to be commenting on the second wave toys? My intent had been to leave it open-ended, and we'll just see what happens, but here it is. Episode 15 has just aired this previous weekend, and we're getting introduced to the rival of the Gokaiger, and that's an indication to me that, well, if I'm going to do this, I better do it before Gokai Silver shows up on the screen, or else people are going to stop looking for these. So I'm going to try and get my digs in here in the last, I'm guessing, 2 weeks before Gokai Silver shows up. And so here it is, the long-awaited, much-anticipated audio commentary for the Kaizoku Sentai Gokaiger Toys Wave 2. So first up, of course, is Gokai Silver's henshin device, which is, of course, a cell phone henshin device. Although, strangely, it doesn't behave like a cell phone. Yeah, it's got the numbered keypad on the bottom, but it doesn't fold up like a cell phone. And it looks like you can place any Ranger key into the top section there. Slide that visor thing down. I suppose that's the activation key or whatever it is. You slide it down, it makes a noise. You slide it back up and boom! Or something like that. This thing, I'm not really interested in this. It's just, I mean, it's supposed to be a cell phone, but I mean, they're even being. I'm not going to get this thing. At this point, I'm not interested in seeing it. I like how, if you look real closely at the keypad, though, you can see that it's not just that they have the helmets of 6th Rangers in there, but all of the helmets are raised. They're actually 3D helmets. So that's kind of an interesting touch. I wonder if they'll make individual sounds. I suspect they will be if this thing can read Ranger key cards. In fact, I know it'll be able to, because if the Moby Rats means anything, and judging by the pictures they have here, yeah, those individual keys are going to be making noises. Now, this picture has obviously been cut in half, so I'm going to switch to the next picture, which is the lower half. While it wasn't as prominent with the first 5 Gokaiger, it looks like Gokai Silver is going to be having his own unique key, which will be able to access all the powers of all of the 6th or Advanced Rangers. And it looks like that key takes the form of a ship's anchor with, again, all of the 6th Rangers arranged on it. In my previous audio commentary for the first wave Gokaiger toys, I didn't comment on the Ranger suits, even though I think they're brilliantly designed. I think it's really clever what they did. Gokai Silver's basic suit in the middle there looks okay, yeah, that works. And I like a powered-up Ranger as much as the next guy. But the one thing I don't like about what I'll call power-up Gokai Silver, whatever that form is called, I cannot read Japanese, of course. What I don't like is that all the helmets are sticking out of there. I just get this bad vibe of Kamen Rider Decade, which, by the way, is the predecessor to Kaizoku Sentai Gokaiger, because it does tribute to all of the previous Kamen Rider series. Off topic for a moment here, I only watched about 10 episodes of Decade, and then I got really tired of it, really bored with it. The only thing I really tried to look out for was where Decade meets Shinkenger, because that was like the first Super Sentai Kamen Rider crossover ever. And they broke all the rules of Shinkenger. Like, when you destroy a monster in Shinkenger, then they grow to giant size, but they didn't do it in the crossover episode. But I'm getting way off topic. So, yeah, I'm not going to be getting any action figures, of course. But I do wonder what those gold-colored swords, I guess they are, sitting on either side of his waist are. So, I don't know, maybe that'll be another toy weapon of some kind. One thing that I've just noticed, though, is that the shape of the gold armor on Gokai Silver is exactly the same as that of that specialized anchor-shaped key that will fit into the henshin device. I wonder if the key is going to pop out of the henshin device, grow to a larger size, and then attach itself to him. That'd be my guess. Looks like those two broad arms on the anchor might be able to swing down as well, just I don't know why. Maybe you can plug this anchor key into Gokai Silver's weapon, which I also don't know the name to, but wow. That is cool. I honestly, I don't go in, I've said this before, I don't go in for most Super Sentai Ranger-sized weapons. It's just, henshin devices and weapons, I'm just not big on those most of the time. But this is pretty impressive. And I really don't go in for triple changing weapons and henshin devices and things like that, with rare exception. The wing pentact from Abaranger would be an exception. But this thing is cool. Like really cool. Although I don't get it, why would you have a trident and then turn around and have a spear? I don't get the connection there. But yeah, that's sufficiently awesome. And then it changes into a gun. Which, okay, yeah, sure. I can't see, I know this picture isn't very clear, but I can't see any obvious port for a Ranger key. So it might be able to do it, but I just don't see it in any of the pictures here. Yeah, what the hell, I'll get this thing regardless. Plus it comes with a Dragon Ranger key. That sounded strange. From Jew Ranger. Which was the Green Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 1, if you don't know who Dragon Ranger was. So, out of the two toys that I've gone over here, this one is definitely going on my list. Oh, and it comes with a Dragon Ranger key. And now we come to the very thing that has kept me attached to this franchise since Power Rangers began in '93, the giant robos. In this case, Gokai Silver's mecha, the Goju Jin. Now, first off, it's a triple changer. Let me tell you how often that happens. The first time it happened was in '95 when King Ranger had the King Pyramider, or as he's known in the US, Gold Ranger and Pyramidas. But King Pyramider was mostly for finishing attacks when you had the, oh, it's been a while, I can't remember what the Ultra combination is called. I think it was King Pyramider Fortress Mode, Carrier Mode, something like that. Don't quote me on that, please. So that was the first time. The Liner Boy from Go-Go 5 doesn't count because there wasn't a 6th Ranger there. And I'm also not going to include the Tenkujin from Hurricaneger in 2002 because it transformed into 2 modes on its own, but then it did a lot of combinations, so that doesn't really count as individual modes by itself like the Goju Jin here does. And also Shinken Gold's Gokai-Oh from Shinkenger in 2009. And that's it. So really, the only time that a 6th Ranger has ever had a triple changing mecha was King Pyramider. That's really the only time. So this is an extra special treat. And this, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, unless I'm much mistaken, this might be the first genuine Super Sentai Transformer in the last... Oh, I really have to think about this. Since 2006, with the 30th anniversary series Go-Go Sentai Gokaiger. Now, to be clear about this, because, I mean, that's 5 years, the Shinken-Oh, yes, did have a transformation, but it was a combiner. There was the Saidai-Oh, but unfortunately there was some part swapping involved there, so that doesn't really count. I'm talking about a single piece transformer where absolutely nothing comes apart. It's a single piece. The only thing on Goju Jin that looks like it's going to come off will be the arms at the shoulders. because, unfortunately, I don't have it pictured here, but the arms can separate from Goju-Jin, and they will indeed limb swap with Gokai-Oh. But at this point, I'm willing to accept that. That's acceptable. That's not the limb swap that I've been fearing for, well, 2 years now, because they didn't do any limb swapping in Goseiger. So, I mean, we got a little bit of a break there, but I'm perfectly willing, if they swap just the arms here and both of them at the same time, honestly, I don't have a problem with that. But there's something in here I want you to pay close attention to, okay? There's two things here, actually, that I want you to pay attention to. The first thing about the Goju-Jin is it has posable legs. Hips, knees, ankles. Posable legs. This right here is what the Bakuryu Tyranno was unable to do in Abadanger. Okay, this right here, okay? Now, granted, the transformation isn't quite the same, but still, oh my god. And by the way, the closest we've ever gotten to fully posable, DX-sized, transformable, posable legs was on the Go Rotor GT in Goanger 3 years ago. So, like, expletive, yes! Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It doesn't look like the legs can shift side to side. That's no big deal, but yes! Yes, 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 yes! And there's something else here that's... Most people are probably not going to see this right off the bat. Oh yes, by the way, this absolutely looks like the Bakur Dino, and it does have a little bit of a nod to the other Dino series, the Daizujin from Zyuranger, aka MMPR Season 1 Megazord. Anyways, there's something that I want to point out here. In 2002, there was a book that came out. I think it was either Bandai or Hobby Japan that published it. It was called Super Sentai Robo Art Collection. And it was literally just that. It was all of the mecha, all of the robos, all the combinations, and many concept images, pre-production concept images which you never saw, you know, possibilities of what Super Sentai robos might have looked like, all mixed up in one colored book. Okay, so this was unbelievable when it came out, and it kills me that I don't have a copy of it. Anyways, I'm looking at the clock. I'm starting to run out of time here. If you know the term Ju-2, then you know what I'm going to be referring to here. Now, I don't know the whole story behind Zyuranger 2, Zyuranger Season 2. It didn't happen that way, but it's too complicated for me to explain here, and I don't know the whole story. Anyways, Plex began concept designs for what the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Megazord would look like in Season 2. They were actually going to take that Megazord and upgrade it. So it was going to completely change the appearance, completely change the functions, but you'd still have the same basic colors and basic animals that were used. It was just going to look completely different. It was even going to transform different. But take a look at this picture here. Like I said, I'm starting to run out of time, but take a look at this picture here. This comes from the art book. I got this from taitoku.com, by the way. There's a scan page. Anyways, look at this top row of pictures here. That's what the Zu-2 Megazord was going to look like. That's what the new Daizujin was supposed to look like. Instead, we got the Daireno, aka Thunder Megazord. But anyways, look in the top right corner there. You see it has a spinning drill there, or whatever it is. It's so interesting. This book is filled with all kinds of things. Like, they had it planned years earlier. They decided it wasn't going to work, and then they decided to bring it back. Well, the spinning tail drill was obviously used with the Abareno, but the concept comes from this Megazord design right here, a spinning drill that takes up the entire arm. This same drill happens on the Goju-Jin. How about that? Oh, and the giant spinning drill also formed a longbow. How about them apples? And wrapping it up here, we have Gokai Machine set number 4, the Furai-Maru, from 2002's Ninpu Sentai Hurricaneger. We've got a Hurricaneger tribute, ladies and gentlemen. Woohoo! The last really, really good, awesome, amazing, fantastic, I can't say enough, mecha system that Super Sentai ever produced. Better than Abaranger, better than Bokanger, better than pretty much anything after 2002. Okay, like it is that... Okay, I could go on. Anyways, yeah, the Furai-Maru, which is a lot bigger, and oddly it's turned green. and silver, and it's got quite a bit of red on there as well. You know, I wonder if Shurikenger from Hurricaneger is going to be doing the tribute here. I'm not sure, because it's green with gold on it, which was Shurikenger's coloring. Who knows? Anyways, the fold-out gimmick on this thing looks like it's pretty awesome. If I had to guess, I'd say that the arms and legs are going to be shooting spring-out shurikens or something like that. They'll either sit in there and they'll unfold when the doors open up and then you pull them out, or they'll be spring-powered and they're actually going to shoot out like projectiles. The latter would be awesome sauce, of course. But here's something else that's interesting. If you look in the lower right corner there, I know the drawing's a lot smaller and a lot harder to see, but all of the doors except for the torso on Gokai-Oh, by the way, this is going to be called Hurricane Gokai-Oh, just to be clear, Hurricane Gokai-Oh. For Hurricane Gokai-Oh, whatever the modes or whatever, however it is this is going to work, it looks like for one of the modes, only the torso panel is going to open up, and you can't see it very well, but Gokai-Oh's helmet is going to be coming off, and then when you open up the chest, a copy of the Senpujin's head is going to flip up like a brand new helmet. It's going to sit up there. So we're going to be having Hurricane Gokai-Oh with the Senpujin's helmet, which can throw shurikens around. That is... that is... I'm speechless. I'm speechless again over our Gokai-Oh combination. That's weird. Yeah, this is amazing, fantastic, wonderful, beautiful, censored, amazing. Yeah, I'm getting that. Now, there's actually one more Gokai machine that is going to be appearing in the Gokaiger versus Super Sentai team-up, epic team-up movie, whatever the movie's called. It's being promoted right now during the show. But there's a Gokai-Oh combination which I haven't heard about any toys being made for it, but it's going to be called Goran Gokai-Oh, which is a reference to Go Ranger, the first Super Sentai series. So we're going to be having the Very Bloon, how do you say that? I don't know how you say that, from Go Ranger, which was their helicopter V-22 shaped vehicle, whatever it is. They're going to be having that attached to the backpack and a couple of other places on Gokai-Oh. Now, I can assure you, ladies and gentlemen, from handling Gokai-Oh personally, I don't see how that thing's going to attach to the backpack. I don't see how that thing's going to attach to the back. I don't see how it's going to be attaching to the side of the arms. I'm suspecting that Goran Gokai-Oh is going to be a movie. It's not going to be a movie exclusive figure. As a matter of fact, I don't think it's going to be made as a toy at all. I don't see how that thing's going to attach. But I think that Goran Gokai-Oh is going to be treated the same way that the Geki Beasts were for their tribute. You know, they don't just sit there as part of Gokai-Oh. They just kind of pop out of Gokai-Oh and do their own attacking, and then they disappear all of a sudden. I think that would be my guess as to what's going to be happening with Goran Gokai-Oh. So, I am fast running out of time here. All I can say is that there's some really amazing stuff that's on the way for Wave 2 of the Kaizoku Sentai Gokaiger toy line. And I'm definitely going to be sinking my teeth into these. Now that I think about it, by making that Gokaiger commentary for Wave 1, I may be responsible for my own demise, because maybe it was people listening to my commentary who rushed out and tried to take all those Gokaiger toys, and it's making it impossible for me to get them. Wow. I didn't know I'd have such a high influence on so many people. That's creepy. This is Ave Unit 4A saying, thanks for tuning in.